that are just Cowboy marching band fans? Let's hear it for them. As you know, we are at the end of a very long week. They've been here for a full week in the sun, in the rain, getting ready to make sure that Cowboy game day is like it always is, rowdy as possible, and that the band is there to drive that. So they're here today to give you a little preview of the things that they've been working on. You're going to see a little bit of familiar things like pregame. You're going to see a little bit of a sneak peek at some things like halftime, and you're going to also see some sort of behind the scenes sorts of things. We're also going to meet the staff and do a whole bunch. So got a lot on the program. I won't talk a whole bunch, but we're glad to have you here to show off a little bit. And we're going to start this off with a little bit of a look at how we warm up. So as you know, we don't just start when the show starts. The band's usually been around on a game day since early in the morning, getting ready, getting prepped. And these warm-ups that you're about to hear, the wind warm-ups, are a little bit of a peek at how they warm up every single time they perform. About marching band, as everybody knows, it's not just about the music and the sound that they make, but it's also about the visual element, whether it's the forms on the field or in this case, one of our groups within the band that works really, really hard to put on a full visual performance for you each and every week, our OSU Cowboy Marching Band Color Guard. So first of all, let's give it up for them. And second of all, I would like to introduce the person who is responsible for the routines and getting them going. Tori, come on up. Tori Williams, let's give her a hand. Absolutely. She's going to talk a little bit about the color guard demo that we've got going and give us a little bit of insight on what's going on.
Hello everyone, my name is Tori Williamson. I'm the CNBCG instructor. This will be my third season working with the Guard. Prior to teaching, I was actually in the Guard, so this has been one of the greatest gifts to come out of college. But we have 27 people this year. We have 3 section leaders. If y'all want to raise your hands. Savannah, Caitlin, and Veronica. They have been instrumental in helping me get everything set up. The Guard has been hard at work since last Thursday. I told them when they came in that this year is going to be a lot more of a fast pace than they were used to. And so they learned all of their pregame stuff in 3 days. That's not a lot. Normally we take about 5 days to get everything kind of ready and situated. So they learned everything for essentially an 8 or 9 minute show in 3 days. So they worked very, very hard. I'm extremely proud of them. I'm extremely excited to show you what we have in store, not only today, but over the course of the season. So please come out and support us and support the band. Thank you guys so much.
So take it away, Color, for the demonstration. highlight is one that, this was said last year, I think over at the McKnight Center when they played, but what you need to know about this next group is that what you will see is not normal. When you go and watch college marching bands, you will see a lot of percussion, battery, front ensembles that are good-ish, some that aren't. What you will not see is one like ours. They are literally one of, if not the best in the country. And so really appreciate what happens when you see our percussion line, our front ensemble do their thing. And a lot of that, unfortunately, is thanks to the hard work of somebody. A lot of people may not know this. So we know that the university was founded in 1890. In 1891, Wayne Bovichin started his tenure with the Cowboy Marching Band. He's been here since. I'd like to have him come up and say a few words about the percussion.
Yeah, that would make me, what, 100 and... yeah, never mind. I did come here in 1987. What does make me feel old is that I have former students out here who have their kids in the drum line right now. And it's really been, it has been a great week for us. I owe an awful lot to our third-year graduate assistant, Caleb Tanini. Where is he? There he is, right there. And then we have a fifth-year senior, Josh Jones, right here as well. I was away at the Drum Corps International Finals, so I owed a lot to them because they did all the work during the percussion preseason. We started a week ago, Tuesday night. All right, so they've been going for a while. What we're going to play for you is what you will see at every game day. A bunch of our kind of short warm-ups. First one is called Blue Light Special that I wrote a long time ago, and the reason that I wrote it is because it incorporates all of my most common licks that I write in the show, so it saves time, because we only rehearse 3 days a week. Then a tune done by a drum corps Santa Clara Vanguard called Martian Mambo. Third tune that was written by a former student who used to be right here, John Weber, who teaches at Michigan State University, and it's called X. And then the series, which this is I did not realize this is the 30th anniversary of the series, which is the beat that we use to march down the street to get to the stadium. So we're going to play those 4 things for you right now, and I hope you enjoy. I just wanted to say one more thing that I did not realize when we started the season. If you guys are listening, if this is your 4th year in the band, please raise your hand. If this is your 3rd year in the band, please raise your hand. If this is your 2nd year in the band, and your 1st year. They're all babies. So they've done a lot of work, and we're pretty far ahead from where we usually are, so I'm very proud of them. Thank you very much.
All right, so that is, again, sort of how the sausage is made, the back end. Now you're going to see something that looks very familiar. We talked about this in band camp. Got the history of sort of when this pregame was put into place. Not a lot has changed. There have been little modifications, but you're going to be watching or listening to the very same pregame that's been done for quite a while here. This is our pregame preview. Take it away, band. Cowboy marching band, the guy that puts it all together, makes sure that we have great shows, great music with. He is the man in charge. Give it up for Professor Alan Goodwin.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for braving the heat coming out to support these terrific musicians. We've had a long week where we've been doing 3 days basically every day. I'd like to stop and make mention of the fact that we had a special guest with us who came this year, a good friend of mine who I've worked with for the last 17 of the last 18 years. He's a should have heard the applause they gave him at the end of it. It was terrific, right? I've known Mike for a long time. It was great for them to hear another voice, especially for someone with that level of expertise. I'd also like to take one more opportunity to mention our featured twirlers. So we give it up for Jaden and Talon. Is Allie Baker sitting here anywhere? You're sitting down right now. Even sitting down, do you want to mention what they've been doing over the summer? She is just back from having pneumonia, so I'm going to stand this far away and hand the microphone to her.
Thankfully, I'm not contagious anymore. Calvin Hall and Data School had an incredible summer. So Calvin, right here, sorry, wait, Callie, she competed at Notre Dame University with all of the other college featured twirlers. She placed in the top 5 in our collegiate fielder team, which is a huge accomplishment because with us, other college twirlers get and Data School, she just got back from, where was it, Italy? Italy, yes, where she was on the USA twirling team, and in her individual event, she brought home the bronze medal against all the big accomplishment for her. So my name is Allie Baker, and I'm the featured twirler here, and I have been blessed to be the featured twirler coach for the past 13 years. So Wayne, watch out, I'm going to test them. So it's been a wonderful week.
All right, stand by.
All right, so we will welcome Professor Goodman to the stand, and we would ask everybody to stand as you are able to remove your hats, all veterans salute. As we honor America and all of the brave men and women who fight to keep us free with the playing and singing of our national anthem. Director of the Cowboy Marching Band and is now the director of all bands at Oklahoma State University. Huge job. He came back to us after a long time, almost like he had never left. So if you could please, you're going to get up there first and then come down. All right. So to lead us in the alma mater hymn, please welcome to the stand, Director of Bands at Oklahoma State University, Dr. Bradley Ginevra. Great to see you all here this evening. Thank you so much for being here, supporting these fine students behind us, and we hope you're here every game.
no matter the weather, no matter the weather. And we hope you're all here with us. We have a new member of the team. Michigan State had been like a stranglehold with Wayne and some folks. Well, we brought in our third director. So now we all have degrees from the University of Texas and no longer Michigan State kind of home. Straight from Frisco, Texas, teaching in the ISD, is now here in his first year as Associate Director of the Marching Band and Assistant Director of Bands. Please welcome to the microphone Dr. Danny Brock. Everybody, I'll start off by saying a sincere thank you to my marching band as well as the community of Stillwater for welcoming me in your hometown. So thank you all so much for that. A little bit about me. I have a doctorate in trumpet. I'm getting a second doctorate in wind conducting. You might say I've got marching band in my blood by this point, like a lot of these students here. I grew up in a competitive high school marching band. I went to a college that did both military and corps style marching. I did a few years of drum corps with the Bluecoats, and I've been on a number of staffs in the past decade or so in various drum corps. I did a stint in Japan with a performing group called Blast, which is basically marching band on a Broadway stage. So yeah, I've got a lot of marching band in my background here. Last thing I want to say is I come from a place about 4 hours down south of here, and OSU has a tremendous weight down there. And when I got the call about 2 months ago to come join these amazing students, these twirlers, this color guard, this staff, everyone here, I could not get here fast enough. So thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, just like Dr. Ginevra said, every week we're going to be right here before our home game, an hour before kickoff, and you're going to get the pregame preview, and you're going to get what you're just about to. So if you're a little curious about what's up for halftime that day, you're going to get at least one tune from halftime at every single Oregon Power Pep rally. We want everybody here an hour before kickoff, so we're going to hand it back over to the band. You're going to get a little look at the halftime show from August 28th. This will be our first one. First show is going to be called Pop Evolution. It's going to be a throwback to the late 1990s and 2000s. But we're going to open it up with an absolute banger. You'll know it. Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. I think you've got a kind of a sense of it by the amount of time that a lot of people have been in the band and with the band on staff. One of the best things about the Cowboy Marching Band is that we are truly the keepers of tradition on campus. And within the broader tradition of things that happen, like keeping songs alive and some of the cheers, there are also sort of marching band specific traditions that we also keep alive, and sometimes those actually sprout into whole stadium and whole school traditions, which is the case for our next thing. I can tell you exactly that at 419 Southwest, just about 2 blocks over, the Tuba section leader at the time was also my roommate, and one of our other roommates who was in the Tuba section at the time was sitting around thinking, how can we promote a little bit of Tuba spirit? And the answer was to come up with the Tuba-specific stuff. So Chris Amos, the roommate, went and he arranged a couple of songs. One of them was low-rider, that one got away. But this next one, to nobody's real understanding, we didn't have some grand plan, but it has become a tradition that everybody waits for, and I'm glad to see it continue just because I was in the room where it happened. So, Tuba, if we're ready, let's hear it. You've never been to Spain.
Never heard it.
Southern Marching Band singing the alma mater in harmony is absolutely amazing. So, stick around for that, and then we'll have a welcome from our alumni band first. I'm going to make it last. You good? You good? Hold it. Hold it. And Pregame band.
Thank you, Chuck. Greg, can we have a big hand for the best announcer in the Big 12 Conference? It's been a long, hot, sweaty, but very productive week. I can't compliment the students enough on the hard work that they put in, sometimes 3-day rehearsals. We had an evening that all of a sudden there was a flood warning. We were outside, it was like 98 degrees, and then we got a flood warning alert. Sky looked like this. We didn't know what was going on, so we lost a little bit of time. These students decided that we'll just make up that evening block that got rained out in the middle of the afternoon, where it was about 95 degrees. They toughed it out through the whole thing. We're actually ahead of where we generally are at this point of the season. So couldn't be more pleased with them, couldn't be more excited for the season. And I hope that you'll come and join us for some football games. Dr. Ginevra responded saying this, and I agree with him 100%. We're here because we stand on the shoulders of giants, and those are the people that built the program, like this gentleman and others, through their membership years ago, some just a couple of years ago, and some more than a couple of years ago. So can we give a big hand to the members of our alumni band that are here tonight and helping us with dinner tonight? Couldn't do what we do without your contributions, so we appreciate you very much, and thank you so much for being here. One of the last traditions, as Chuck mentioned, is the opportunity to sing that alma mater in 4-part harmony. I want to say thanks to someone who I don't believe is here, Professor Mitchell Rodriguez came in and worked with the group on vocal tone production and vowels and all the things that they need to do, work through this, and our student leaders took responsibility to teach voice parts and all that. So this is largely student-led and faculty improved, let's say it that way. This is something that's very important. I should also mention that Coach Gundy came to visit with the band about 5 o'clock today, gave them a really inspiring message, and we also had the opportunity to sing through the alma mater with him. He walked up to me and said in my ear, he said, that gives me goosebumps more than when we play. Keep doing it. Okay? So we're excited about the possibilities of Cowboy football. This is one of the last things that we'll do this evening. Then our photographer, Robin Herrick, with Robin. Robin's right there. Everybody give it up for Robin Herrick. And on social media, Dale Walker. So Robin has kindly asked to get the band over on the steps of the hall right over here for a quick photo. Just take about 5 or 10 minutes, and when we're finished, we'll do that. We'll eat. So we'll get to enjoy some food with all of you. And I hope that you'll come and congratulate them for the fine work that they've done and all the things that they're about to do. So thanks again so much for being here. If you know the alma mater, then I encourage you to link arms right now. Sway a little bit with us as we go through